This is the Mercedes Benz EQE SUV 500. I've been living with this vehicle for the past several weeks now, and I would like to share my experience with you. I would like to personally thank Silver Arrows, the franchise partner of Mercedes-Benz, for lending this vehicle to me so that I can share my experience with you guys. They have several showrooms across Delhi NCR, and I'll put up their number here. You can call the numbers mentioned below to book a test drive of this vehicle or any other Mercedes-Benz vehicle. And if you mention that you saw this video on my channel, they'll definitely hook you up. Before I share my experience with you, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. It'll really help my channel grow. I've had the privilege of living with this EV for several weeks now, like I mentioned earlier, and I would like to share my experience with you of what it's like to own an electric vehicle and live with it in the year 2024. But before we dive in, I would like to give you a brief overview of the vehicle. This is the E-equivalent of Mercedes SUV lineup in the EV segment. The EQE SUV is an EV-only model that's built on a dedicated electric vehicle architecture. The size of this vehicle is substantial. However, it does not have the traditional look and feel of a large SUV, as it has more of a rounded shape to increase aerodynamics. How effectively an EV cuts through the air makes a huge difference in range. The car has a massive seal grille with a huge TriStar logo, and it's very glossy. It's also got multiple TriStar logos in front. The bonnet does not open, so there is no frunk. Only Mercedes technicians have access to the bonnet during service. This EV requires a service every 2 years or 30,000 kilometers. The typical cost for the service would be somewhere around 20 to 25,000. Wiper fluid can be topped up from the access window, which is over here, by just opening this and filling it right from there. The EQE SUV has a 90 kilowatt battery, and Mercedes gives you an industry first 10 years or 250,000 kilometers warranty on the battery. The range on a full charge is 550 kilometers, and when you talk about charging speeds, it takes 32 minutes from 10 to 80% using a fast charger, and with the wall box charger installed at your home, it would take 9.5 hours from 10 to 100%. The EQE SUV has these fancy new tail lights. You can see the design over here. And it's got a single line running through the back, which is connecting both the tail lamps, and this gives you a very nice and premium feel. The boot space is also pretty decent. Let me show that to you. It's got ample storage space, but of course the spare wheel takes up a huge chunk of that space, so do keep that in mind. As soon as you sit in the EQE, you are going to be blown away by the massive 56-inch hyperscreen, which comprises of 12.8 inches of digital driver display. This is a non-touch display. Then we have the 17.7-inch touch display, which is the main display that has all your car settings, and the 12.8-inch touch display for the passenger. Overall, what I've experienced in the past few weeks is that the display is of very high resolution. The MBUX is very responsive and it has no lag, which is a really good thing, because I used to hate the old laggy system. This has been refined, and also the touch quality feels like an iPad. The EQE is also feature loaded, and it comes with a bunch of features like 360-degree camera. Let me show that to you. There, that's how it looks. It also has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is wireless, and it's got ventilated seats, both heated and cooled. The seat also comes with inbuilt massage functions, and it's got 8 different massage modes, and this definitely increases the overall sitting experience in this car. Coming to the ambient light mode, it's got a lot of different colors of light, 64 in total. And I'm going to show this to you what it looks like at night as well, and you're definitely going to be blown away by how beautiful this screen with the ambient light looks. So once you sit in the EQE and you start driving it, you'll notice the build quality around you. Mercedes has used a lot of leather and very premium materials everywhere, so you get a nice premium feel in the car. There are no complaints over there. The seats are also very comfortable, plus they've got massage function and ventilation, so build quality and overall comfort inside the cabin is amazing, and there are no complaints at all. The EQE has 2 motors, one in the front axle, one in the rear axle, and together they give you a combined horsepower of 408 bhp and 858 newton meters of torque, which is a lot. And talking about torque in an electric vehicle, it is available to you right from 0 rpm. There's no lag. It's not like an internal combustion engine where you have to wait for like 2500 rpm or 3500 rpm for the torque to kick in. In an electric vehicle, it is just available right from the beginning. So if I press the accelerator, it's going to just take off. That is an amazing feeling. It's scary fast, guys, and having that kind of torque from 0 RPM, it's just so much fun. So the pickup is great. The power is amazing. 404 bhp, you really feel that with 858 Newton meters of torque. It's just amazing. So as far as drivability is concerned, there's been no lag noticed at all. The entire EV experience is very smooth. It's very punchy and it gives you the power exactly when you need it. There's no delay at all. When you press the accelerator, you get that punch. So that gives you a lot of confidence when you drive, because you know that if you're in a sticky situation and you need to overtake immediately, just press down on the accelerator and you will get what you want. So talking about the suspension in the car, suspension is very soft and nimble. But of course, at high speeds, if you're going to be taking sharp turns, you're going to definitely feel it. But that's not really a big deal, and the overall comfort is very good. It's very soft and very cushy ride. And also when you put it in sports mode, it does stiffen up a bit, so that gives you a little more confidence on pushing the vehicle. So it's got air suspension, so when you select off-road mode, it does lift the vehicle and you can even lower it. So that's a great feature to have. And air suspension is always a very comfortable ride, so there are no complaints over there. The car also offers you a very, very big panoramic sun roof, which provides great openness inside the cabin. And if you're claustrophobic, you're not going to feel cooped up inside with the sunroof open. The sunroof also opens up quite a bit, so you've got a very wide opening on top. Now coming to the overall experience of owning an electric vehicle and living with it in 2024. Well, right off the bat, the biggest difference that you see over here is the economy, obviously. It's 1 rupee per kilometer. Guys, just take a pause and think about it. 1 rupee a kilometer. You've got this beast of a car with amazing power and you're just paying 1 rupee per kilometer, which is just unreal. So in a petrol or diesel car, you have to think about how much fuel it's going to consume. Plus, when you're in a mood to drive it really fast, you put it in sport mode. But then you also have to think about that, oh my God, it's going to consume so much fuel. So, like you worry about all of that, but not in an electric vehicle. You can drive this car on sports mode all the time and you don't have to worry about the economy because it's just 1 rupee per kilometer. And yeah, even if that goes up to 2-3 rupees a kilometer, how does that make any difference? Because it's relatively so cheap. All you have to do is that once you get back home, just plug the car in and it's charging right back up. So just with that feature alone, buying an electric vehicle makes a lot of sense. My other observation is how silent the car is, and that's something that I really like. It's very quiet and it's so peaceful, so relaxing, and that's something that you will have to get used to, of course. But it's not a really big adjustment over here. You can get used to it very easily, and that's something that you will really notice. So when you switch on the car and when you press the start button, there's literally no difference between it off and on. And that's something that you have to get used to. At times I used to think that the car is off and I would have to press the start button again. But yeah, that's a small adjustment which can easily be done. Now, when it comes to longer trips, within the city, it's absolutely fine because you've got 550 kilometers of range on a full charge, which is more than sufficient for one single day of city driving. But when it comes to longer trips, you'll have to definitely plan ahead. The flexibility that you have in a petrol or diesel car is much higher, of course, because you can just sit in it and drive off into the sunset and not really care about the range and everything, because all you have to do is just stop at a gas station and fill it up. But in an electric vehicle, you'll definitely need to plan ahead because you'll have to plan your stops and you'll have to find fast chargers along the way. So when you fast charge this particular EV, it's going to cost you roughly around 1800 to 2000 rupees from 0 to full, which is around 90 units that you'll require. And the average cost per unit is between 20 to 25 rupees, depending on the company who's offering the fast charger to you. So when you plan longer trips, it's going to be very economical. This car tops up your battery from 10 to 80% within 32 minutes, which is not bad at all. So you can stop at a cafe, have a quick bite or coffee, and by the time you're done, your battery will be charged as well. So that is something that you'll have to keep in consideration, of course. And the charging network is also definitely building up. There are a lot more fast chargers available today than it was a couple of years ago. Also, the kind of tech that you get in this car is really good. The amount of screen that you have, and it's so gorgeous, and it's well connected with your mobile phone. It's got an eSIM inbuilt, so you can control your car from anywhere. You can turn on the AC before you get to your car, which is such an amazing feature, especially if you live in a hot place like New Delhi. So in summers, this car is going to be an absolute delight. Just before you leave the office or mall or your home, you can turn on the AC and your car will be nice and cool when you sit inside. Technology has really advanced when it comes to cars and tech, and just think about it, you can control your entire car with an app, which is so crazy. And if anyone told me 10 years ago that you'll be able to control your car with an app, I wouldn't have believed it. Mercedes offers a Mercedes Me app, and the app is very well designed. It gives you all the stats on the app. You can lock, unlock the car. You can do a lot more from the app, and everything is at your fingertip. And going down the line, you won't even need keys anymore to enter your car and start it and drive off. You'll just have your phone and your car, and that's it. You're sorted. So that's a real good direction where all EVs are going, and tech is also really advancing in them. So the overall experience of driving an EV for several weeks has been a real eye-opener for me. I've always been a big petrol head, and I love modifying my cars by putting in the sports exhaust and hearing the rumble of a V6 or a V8, and that's just really appealing to me. But driving this EV for several weeks and living with it has been a real eye opener. And when you're in an EV and you really press the accelerator for the first time, and the kick that you're going to get is just amazing. It's really changed my mind quite a bit, and I do see myself owning an EV in the near future. The calmness and the extraordinary power that it has right from 0 RPM has been really juicy for me. That's something that I want to experience all the time. I suggest you book a test drive and experience the power firsthand to get that rush. It's something that's really going to stick with you. Give it a try. This has really changed my mind on EVs. Maybe it could do the same for you as well. So that's been my overall experience with this vehicle. You can book a test drive from Silver Arrows by calling the number mentioned below. I would also like to thank a very special friend of mine for letting me use his farmhouse, which is such a fantastic location. You know who you are, and I really thank you for it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. See you in the next one.